don't recall houses being around Albert Park, but whatever. It's near water. There's a little, yeah, this could be it. It's near the coast. There's a river that goes along it. I'm going to say this is Albert Park. I am going to say this is Albert Park. It looks like another golf course. That's not Albert Park. I'm never going to find Albert Park. But anyway, so moving away from those skids, like I said, I don't know exactly what aircraft they could be going on. Certainly is interesting. Certainly is definitely interesting, because I think water landings are going to be really fun. Really fun. So I better start practicing ditching in the water on these various aircraft. I think I've done it once on video as well. I did a ditch, so that was actually a little bit of fun, but certainly not sure where this is going to end up for Flight Sim World. But that shows some progress there. The business jet shows some progress. What do I want to see in Flight Sim World? Well, I want to see dynamic weather this year. I think it's really important that dynamic weather comes out this year. I think it's going to be important for them. No, I don't think that's Albert Park. It's too far away from the city. I think it's going to be important for Flight Sim World to be putting on dynamic weather, for the simple reason of it's going to help them bring their base more to the other simulators, because X-Plane has dynamic weather, Prepared has dynamic weather, Flight Simulator 10 has dynamic weather. I don't know whether DCS World has dynamic weather yet. I don't know about Flight Gear or any of them, but the dynamic weather seems to be a really big deal in flight simulators, and of course it should be a big deal. And with the True Sky that they've been working with, I think dynamic weather is around the corner. Maybe a few months. Maybe it'll be in summer. Maybe with the business jet we'll get dynamic weather. Maybe not. I don't really know how that's going to work. What I'd also like to see is a like of dynamic lighting. I think that's another one I really want to see this year. Again, this is all my own assumptions. I don't know what is and isn't going to be around. I feel like dynamic lighting should be important and it should be up there on their list. So maybe they are working on it, working a little bit more on it anyway. We'll stop doing that. This is actually a really well done city. I could fly around this for a while, taking a look at all the sights. But anyway, yeah. So I think dynamic weather is, sorry, not dynamic weather. Dynamic lighting is another must. I think it'll be very important for the likes of Flight Sim World to be putting that in, so at least we can fly at night. And that's something again that maybe will be around when the business jet arrives. I don't know. You know, they'll say, oh yeah, look, we've got the business jet, and because it's a business jet, you might be flying at night, you might be landing in the evening, you might be landing in the morning, you might be taking off in the morning. You know, if it's a business jet, you're going here and there, taking around private clients or whatever they are. Then yeah, we're going to have dynamic lighting, and here you go, your runways are now lit, your aircraft is now lit properly, you can light up the ground, you can light up the clouds, whatever dynamic weather actually brings. This industrial area looks quite interesting. So that's another thing I want to definitely see. Performance updates. I really want to see performance updates on this. For example, you can see right now that area there, you can just see I'm just indicating it and looking around. That whole area there, out there, is a single building over there, but everything is not rendering in at all at this moment in time. Now, I don't have the greatest of graphics cards, but I feel like with some performance updates they should be able to render in a much greater distance, maybe using, I don't know, what could they use? Maybe if these houses or something employed some sort of a level of detail, I don't know, adaptive tessellation techniques, probably not needed for a simulator like this, but you know, something that when you look out there, it doesn't look like a flat terrain. It looks like these houses have been rendered in, even if they haven't. And as you get closer, it just renders in a little bit better. I think that would be a good start for the likes of performance updates for Flight Sim World. Seeing, you know, being able to manage to render all of that outside while still keeping a smooth frame rate. And of course, I think the frame rate needs to improve. This is nowhere near the standard of prepared version 4 yet, but of course that is in the name. In the name it explains why. This is we're just entering phase 2 of Flight Sim World. Prepared's already on its 4th version, and it had like version 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, then it had 2, 2.1.2.2 I think, then there was 2.3, then it went to 3, 3.1.3.2. I don't think it went above 3.2, and then it went to version 4. So that's a lot of releases that you know, Prepared has had over Flight Sim World, so naturally they would be better at what they do. So that's not a knock on Flight Sim World there. I just think that Prepared have had a lot more time to do what they've done, and because of that, obviously their simulator shows it. So Flight Sim World have got a lot of catching up to do. You know what, I'm going to go out there for my last check. So Flight Sim World do have a lot of catching up to do, but I think they are capable of it. Performance updates this year would be absolutely insanely good, because I think this is one of those. This is going to be one of those years where people are going to start looking at Flight Sim World and jumping onto Flight Sim World and going, "Ooh, what's Flight Sim World like?" Because it's been picking up momentum. It's been picking up you know, you've got the DLC, so if you go on the Just Flight website, you see something from Flight Sim World. If you go to Turbulent Designs, you see something for Flight Sim World. If you go to the likes of Blue Sky FS, you see something for Flight Sim World. If you go to the likes of what's the one that did View and Slew and Moving Map, which by the way, on their own they're great. It's just integrated with this sim at the moment. I feel they're not very good. But that's just my own opinion, and of course if you want to see that, you can go check out my videos where I do reviews of all that kind of stuff. You know what I want to do? I haven't done this because I probably should have. There we go. Just a little bit. Is that Albert Park? I'm still at it. I am still at it. But I probably should be turning back towards a runway now. So what have I talked about? I've talked about the image that we saw on Facebook. I've talked about the business jet. I've talked about performance updates. That's 3 things we need to see. Dynamic weather, dynamic lighting I want to see. What else do we really want to see from here? I don't know what's going to happen with regards to DLC this year. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of aircraft. I really wouldn't mind seeing a couple. AccuSim, please get the 182 in here. I think that's going to be absolutely awesome if you can get the 182 in here. That looks like a runway. It's a bit too high for it, but it looks like a runway. Let's do a loop this way. So yeah, the AccuSim, if you guys can get your Cessna, sorry, not 182, your Cessna 172 trainer, you get that in, and I think that's going to be big for Flight Sim World. I think that's going to be incredibly big for Flight Sim World, but it's going to be big for a lot of people as well, for the simple reason is that AccuSim aircraft is one of... Oh look, my shadow, lovely. I'm not Peter Pan after all. My shadow is not lost. Oh, that's really nice. I feel that AccuSim aircraft, the 172, is going to be really great. Obviously they've got I think they've got AccuFeel in here already. I remember I can certainly feel the AccuFeel on the runway. I'm sure they've got AccuFeel in here, unless they've got their own system, but I'm pretty sure it was AccuFeel that they were setting up. And let's start descending a little bit more and slowing down. There we go, 1,500. Fantastic. So they've got that. I want to see this. I want to see the Cessna in here. I really do. I really want to see that Cessna. I don't even know what runway that is. I feel like that's not a good runway to be heading for, but I can't see another that I can take. So yeah, I want to see that. What other propeller aircraft could I be interested in seeing? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. Let's bring ourselves down to 1,000 feet now. Let this aircraft continue descending. 1,000 feet. And we'll fly this in manually in a moment. Yes, 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 shush. That's now suddenly turned red. So that's a little bit awkward. So I'll tell you what, there we go, 1,400. You stay there as we slow down. Oh, unless I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. There's that one right there. That's now turned white again. I can see the runway for that one. You know what? I can see the runway for that one. I'm going to take it. I feel like it's a good idea to take this one. Alright, so flaps down. Landing gear out. I feel like I'm going to make that runway. Anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the likes of, obviously like I said, the likes of the Cessna from A2A. So I wouldn't mind seeing that Cessna from A2A, which is, that's what it's called. It's not AccuSim, it's A2A, isn't it? The A2A Cessna. They make the AccuField setups, I think. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that would be awesome to see in the sim. What else would I not mind seeing? In terms of propeller aircraft, not many. Maybe there's some of that. Is it Carenado? Carenado products? They would be awesome. Yeah, I think they would be really, really awesome to have. I feel like I'm quite low here. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, we're good. We are good. I'll bring out another stage of flaps. We'll maintain 100 knots here as we line up properly. I can't actually see the runway. This is an issue. Let me look up a little bit. There we go. So the Carenado products, yeah, that would be pretty nice to see some of them entering. Obviously, they've got Senecas and stuff as well. So that would be interesting to see how that works out. I cannot see the runway. I mean, it's clear what the lights are telling me, but I can't see the runway for it. This is a very awkward approach I've chosen. I may end up doing a go-around. In terms of jets, I want to see jets. I really do want to see jets. I want to see PMDG jump on this for certain. I love their 737. In fact, I love all their aircraft, but their 737 is my personal favourite, and I would love to see that come into Flight Sim World. So obviously, after the business jet is released, I'm hoping to see that. This is terrible. This is. In terms of other jets, I suppose I'd like to see all the Boeings in here, and obviously the Airbus systems as well. Is it Flight Sim Labs? They've got a fantastic Airbus. Concorde, if they were to make Concorde and put that in here, that would be incredible, but that's still a ways away. I just want to see the first jet in here. I want to see mesh improvements, the performance improvements over this sim. I'm going to go again for another stage of flaps, so I can really slow this aircraft down. These trees and these houses, I feel like are in a very, very bad location. So again, this is another thing that I want to see improved, is problems like these around major airports. I mean, Melbourne is a major airport. Alright, we've cleared that. Down we go. And let's see if we can get this landing fairly nicely. That was actually a very good landing. Alright, on the brakes, bring the flaps up as not to have undue lift, as I have mentioned before. And we'll take taxiway November if we can, which I think we should be able to take taxiway November. So that's my brief, well, my brief look at trying to find Albert Park in Melbourne. So someone's going to probably tell me it's not even in Melbourne, but I'm fairly sure it's in Melbourne. Melbourne, Australia is where Formula 1 is, so Albert Park must be in Melbourne somewhere. Not entirely sure where, but we'll find out. And obviously, like I said, or like I was talking about, the updates that I feel should be coming around to... where should we go? Let's go over that way. The updates that should be coming around to Flight Sim World. The skids, I don't know when that's going to be released, but those skids look like I said, for a small aircraft. So either the Piper Arrow, the Piper Cherokee, the Cub, maybe if it's for some bizarre reason the Warhawk. Certainly I don't think it's for this Malibu, and definitely not for a Seneca or anything like that. It just doesn't, the shape of it does not match that at all. That control tower is very dark. Dynamic weather, dynamic lighting is a must, I feel. Obviously with that we want the full IFR planning. That would be really good as well, with nice air traffic control systems. That's something I didn't mention. I completely forgot. I just remember that now, that at the moment we do a lot of VFR flights. It would be nice to be able to do full IFR flights and have the maps for full IFR flights. That would be really nice. Right, we're on Papa. Let's follow Papa around and see where we can go from here. So that's Charlie that way. We're not gonna go, that's back towards the runway. If I just follow this around here, we've got Romeo and Sierra, but if I were to, not this one, I'll take this one right here, right onto the apron, or not the apron, but in a sense this is an alley, because I don't think this taxiway has a name. There we go. We'll just potter down here up to the petrol station. So yeah, I'd like to see all of that stuff, and like I said, I think performance updates is going to be a big one. It'd be really nice to be able to fly this in almost 60 frames a second constantly. That would be really incredible. I would be very impressed with that. Right, and over here we'll just stop right here, even though we should be parked up just there, but that's okay. There we go. Right, let's switch off that head tracking and end the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Flight Sim World, leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think, and as DLCs, as updates, as you know, news comes out or whatever, I will be obviously bringing that to you on Wednesdays or Saturdays, or both days depending on what is actually going on. So you'll either see 1 or 2 Flight Sim World videos a week on this channel, as well as my Flight Sim tutorials, which are on almost every week. Maybe not this week though, but almost every week. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. If you're watching this on Twitch, please thumbs up and a follow, and if you can afford to do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. I would massively appreciate your support. It would help me out a huge amount, and obviously I'll give you access to my Discord server where, well, it's kind of fun over there, so you can join a bit of the fun. Nice community, other YouTubers there, lots of people joining up from Patreon, honored guests, stuff like that. Nice little community. I'm sure you guys would like it, so if you do want to join that, please do check out my Patreon scheme. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I didn't find Albert Park. It's a shame. If someone can point out to me exactly where Albert Park is, I probably flew over it, but we don't know. And I will see you guys next time in Flight Sim World.